Telling me. So Joel called me and asked me if I could share his testimony, and I said no. And then he was telling me what he was preaching about today, and I was like, oh, I can totally talk about that. So I'm going to tell you two things today, and the first is how I come alive on the inside, and the second is why I've chosen to continue to live my life with God. Okay, ready? Okay. So, raise your hand if you know who the Olympian Eric Little is. Yes, four people. Okay, Eric Little is a very fast runner from the early 1900s, I think. Super fast. And he is quoted as saying that when he runs, he feels God's pleasure. Like when he runs, he can just feel the happiness of God swelling through his body. And I would say that that's a way of worship is living out the thing that God has like made you to do, right? And for me, one of the ways that I feel that is when I'm creating something and I'm super tactile, right? So it's like when I'm baking and there's like egg yolk and flour all over the place sometimes. And or like when I'm gardening and I'm all like muddy and there's all these plants and they're growing and there's water, or when I'm writing, but it's when that's when I feel alive on the inside, is when I'm creating something. I think that's a way that I reflect God, and that's a way that I feel close to God. And then, so that's the first thing. Remember that. How do you feel alive on the inside? Second is why I've decided to stick with God. So I became a Christian when I was like 5-ish years old, and then from that point to this point, I've lived in 19 different homes. I'm 33, so you can do the math on my average amount of living somewhere, which has totally changed. By the way, I'm sticking around. Okay. Um, yeah, we're different. So there were lots of like first times at a new church, first times in a new house, first time at this new thing, first time at this new job. Lots of times where I would go to bed and like nobody in that town even knew I was there, right? I was completely alone. I had my family when I was little, and then I was single for a while and then got married, but nobody in my life has been to all the places that I have lived as a home, right? Not a single person except for God. Like every time I was somewhere new where nobody knew who I was and nobody else saw what was going on, God was there and He saw me. And I knew that I could just like reach out in that darkness of like loneliness, and that He was always right there. And He always knew who I was, and He always remembered my name. And um, so that I would say the shared experience of being just that new kid over and over and over again, and knowing that everything that's ever happened to me, He's been right there next to me, has created this lasting friendship. And it's a friendship I would never want to give up. So there we go. Oh, wait. So I have a question. Sorry, that was close. Okay, so um, two things that I want to leave you with is, when do you feel alive on the inside? And when has God been there and when nobody else has? So there you go.